Very common question I get, Gary, how do I get my employees to work as hard as I do? My reply on email, to make them equal partners. The way I think about getting team members on board is by caring more about their needs than mine. People talk about wanting their employees to be loyal, yet they're not loyal. When I was 14 years old, the first time I worked in my dad's liquor store, he didn't say a single thing to me on our 40-minute drive to the store until we got to the parking lot. And then he turned to me and he looked at me and he said, keep an eye on the employees, they all steal. As I'm older now, I understand him. At the time, I was very emotional about this. For me, my employees are my family. I think we have audacity at the ownership level, at the leadership level. The way I think about getting team members on board is by caring more about their needs than mine. The way I do it is through empathy and compassion and putting myself in their shoes and asking why would they want to be on board. I reverse engineer their emotional graph, and then on an individual basis, I try to understand where they are on their journey. Sometimes kids come into my company and the first time I sit down with them, they say to me, one day I'm gonna run this whole company. And I'm thrilled. I'm like, please, I'm getting old, you know? That same employee 5 years later sometimes walks into my office and says, I need more work-life balance. Because now they fell in love and they're starting a different chapter of their life. And I love that. I don't judge them for not wanting to work 14 hours a day anymore. I respect that that's their interest. I think it's a leader's obligation to reverse engineer the wants and needs of the people on their team, not only philosophically, but in reality on a day-to-day basis. And I think that's a very, very hard thing to do, but I think it's required to build something big. When you have the intent to care, you ask the questions. You know, when people come up with excuses of why they haven't accomplished something, it's often predicated on the fact that they didn't want to know the answer at the time. Do you know how many business owners avoid one-on-one conversations with their employees because they're scared they're gonna ask for a raise? So that one's very easy. It's called intent. One of the hardest things for a room like this to do to build scale is letting go. You know, people wanna micromanage because they don't realize their ego is tied up in it. People that start businesses have incredible pride in being the best at the thing, to the demise of scale. Anytime someone says that they're not growing to the level of their ambition or hopes and dreams, 99 out of 100 times it's based on ego. They're incapable of creating scale because they fear scale, because they fear it in two ways. One is a very good one. They're scared that if they're not doing it, the client is not getting the quality of execution that they're accustomed to, which is coming from a very noble place, but is required to make scale. Or two, they don't realize how much pride they have in telling everybody that works for them that they're better at the thing than all of them. Both of it comes from a place of fear. You know, I think a lot about that when I talk to businesses that entrepreneurs run. I'm trying to understand, can they see that fear is dictating them, thus having them on defense versus offense? Most entrepreneurs and small businesses want to win the game 1-0. They don't realize that that's what they're doing, but that's what they're doing. And I think for me, I want to win the game 17-14, 39-32, 116 to 104. Most people don't have the appetite to make 104 mistakes.